Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So as promised, now we are getting to actually the top 8. So just a little note before we also get into other matches that on top 8 we still having a best of 1, but starting from top 4 and the finals we will actually be getting into best of 3. So like until then you will still be seeing best of 1, but once you get into the top 4 and finals, you actually get more chances even if you got a bad hand or something. So back into the match, we have Bastion versus Nirvana, which is basically the common deck types that being used during the day, and we hopefully will see some interesting playings from both players. But for now, the Nirvana side is just doing plays normally. I think he even tried to rush more, but just play the Ox to draw cards, and then he got a crit here, and his opponents get a over trigger, which is probably not the best timing because that's basically the end of the turn, and he needs to take another one. So yeah, even it's also a trigger, but it's not helping him because basically the turn is over. Sadly that happens, but of course with over trigger that happens sometimes like that. And entering the grade 2 turn, what he can call will basically greatly impact how he plays the game. So okay, he got a dragon, which is nice, but won't be having too much right there for now. And he's hitting regard. I think he don't want to see Valiente get a high buff, and also he's passing the turn, so not giving his opponent a counterblast, so that basically the Nirvana can pump 10k for almost like the whole front row. So this turn will likely be a peaceful turn, but depending on how aggressive the Nirvana player is, things can be different. So he's calling back a Trickster with Nirvana skill, overdressing Nirvana to basically secure the attacks. And here comes the over trigger, so the Nirvana player gets really lucky, and he gives power to the Farina, I think. And a second check with nothing and take the damage, and the Farina going in for 13k, so the power is going to Farina, another Train Drive, and the Farina also burn a dragon. So that's probably quite a great advantage right there, but for the Bastion player, I think it's kind of lucky that the over trigger is not being triggered when the Nirvana side actually have a Valiente. If that happens, even though he can't withstand, but I think the threat is still there. So I think he made the right choice for not giving the extra counterblast, because we don't know what's in the Nirvana's player hand. Maybe he actually do have a Valiente, and if he gives the counterblast and that over trigger comes out right there, even though more likely the counterblast will be used for Nirvana, but if the counterblast is safe and is put on Valiente to withstand, that would be quite hurt. So getting back to the Bastion player, he get Elden and Forsado, which is kind of basic setup, but then I think he's a little bit worried to play the dragon because he can't push too hard, and if the dragon is gone, he probably is losing a lot of stuff. So yeah, he decided to just play with the front rows, trying to push a little bit more and probably see if he can actually get a heal trigger. So killing all the overdressed targets as fast as possible so that you reduce the threats when the Valiente actually comes on to play. So now let's see what he do. he probably should still hit 4 damage. And his opponent got another trigger, a draw trigger, and they're actually both laughing. So double Fossado. I think he's still going to use Bastion skill, trying to push a little bit more, even force a card from hand to guard. Is going to be helpful, but not very helpful in this situation, and he get like around 8 hands. Oh, so he decided not to. That's kind of makes sense, but since he got so much in the Great Freeze, like 2 Fossado in hand, if it's me, I probably would just drop one of the Fossado to restand and trying to hit a little bit more. So he goes the personal ride, and I guess he is still kind of afraid the threats of Valiant hit, so he's limiting his opponent's cost. But here comes the Arcs, draw him 2 cards, and since you already have the personal ride, you don't quite need the Nirvana skill. And here comes 2 Valiante, so yeah, proving the Bastion player actually making the right choice, not giving too much counter blast, else Valiante is going to hurt. And the Nirvana player gets another crit trigger, which is really lucky, and Bastion player got a heal, so yeah, really hurts. He do have a lot of hands, but as you know, playing Bastion, your hand will likely be full of Great Freeze, and the damage that you take, and he is actually taking another one and get another heal, so he also get a little bit lucky right there. And here comes his turn again, get the personal ride. You do have a lot of cards in hand, a lot of cards in soul. Another Elden trying to draw more cards. Let's see what he's going to play. Usually he played the dragon, I think. So I think he's ready to push a little bit more. You do have another dragon in hand, but if it's me, I probably would just save it right there. So at this stage, I probably would like to have all the Great Freeze on the field, so that when you call the Great Freeze shield out, you get her effects on the maximum side to like fully power up for defense, because that's relating to your survival. So actually, some people are saying like playing Bastion can be like kind of no-brainer, just go all in and stuff, but you can see right here, depending on the situation, sometimes even if you like getting all the boosts, getting personal ride, things can still be tough. And he's playing the order, drawing himself more cards, probably trying to draw some triggers or some PGs in order to survive for the turn. So now all the Great Freeze have boost, and I think he's ready to attack. Hitting for 45k for 1 damage and take it. It's a Trickster and Bastion going in. This got PG'd, and first check, nothing. Second check is a PG, so he get a Great Free Order and discarded that to reset the Elden, trying to swing for more. Now the thing is he going to... Okay, he's going 45k to Vanguard again, and let's see if he's going to let the Valiante in OverDress stage to accurate survive, or he's going to do through Vanguard, because that is going to matter a lot. And he decided to go to the Vanguard, which is also makes sense, because if you can put your opponents to 5, then you will have an easier turn. But now the matter is, can he survive this turn? He got 11 cards in hand, but we do see a lot of Great Freeze and no personal ride. So that might be easier for the Bastion player. And okay, here comes the Great Freeze shield. That's 15k shield. and playing for 2 pass, nothing, and again a crit. So again, the Nirvana player is really lucky that basically you can see him pulling a crit every single time. He comes a 33k Valiente and another overdress state Valiente at 33k. These will need to be blocked for sure, but now the non-overdress states have crit, and the overdress state Valiente can restand on hit, so both are actually quite threatening. So he guarded that, and the Valiente on overdress states is going in. Now is the place that you decided to take a damage, trying to bait the Valiente to drop a hand and restand, trying to finish you off while you can guard it, or you basically just stop it here so that they cannot push you to 5, so you do have some space to guard for next turn, which he did. So let's see if he's getting a personal right again. Seems no right. So not looking too good for the Bastion player side, because even though without the 10k those power is still massive, but without the extra 10k is still going to hurt. So using a starter grade 3 increase 10k for Elden, and let's see what he's going to play. It seems he do have another one in hand, so if you want to, he can basically pump the Forsado 10k as well to kind of creating a personal right condition. So he's using placing Elden instead, and Soul Blast for boost. So that's probably it. If he's going to win, it's going to be this turn. If not, then he's probably going to have a hard time if he pass turn. So 1 damage and other trigger. So yeah, without personal right and facing a defensive trigger really hurts. But he baited a PG out, and Bastion going in, hopefully getting a grade 3 and probably a trigger so that he can push harder. But his opponents still have like, say, 7 cards in hand, I guess. So, and it's not a Bastion deck, so you do have a lot of card value. You just need to think of if your opponents get a grade 3, they will stand the plus 10k and then another trigger plus another 10k. That's probably what you're afraid of. But if you get fully got both, you probably just do that. So he's swinging up, dropping a PG, while his opponent is having 4 cards in hand. Probably won't be able to survive after this turn, even with double trigger. So he comes to PG just to be safe and make sure he can guard with whatever left in his hand. So it crits and a grade 3, I think. So of course he'll be using Bastion's skill, trying to restand and see if he can take the game. But if his opponents already dropped a PG, then he probably is quite confident in blocking this attack. $50k I think, and another PG, so yeah. So that's probably game from here. No personal right, but I think the threat is still there. So up to this point, someone I think is kicking the camera, but don't worry, I fixed it. Because I was actually watching while recording this match, so I am taking care of everything on the day. Yeah, so as I said, I think that's basically it. So let's enjoy the end of this match, and of course always let me know what's your thoughts on this. do you think the Nirvana player is actually very lucky, or like the Bastion player is having actually a hard time facing this deck? And here comes the double overdress state Valiente. So it's like 33, 33, middle Vanguard line is also a 33. So he declared no guard. Let's see. He comes a draw. And if you got a crit, then you can see how lucky he is. And he got a crit, as expected. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.